It's okay, mom and dad, but can you please look at us instead of your phones now? The Olatunji family lived in the busy city of Lagos, Nigeria, where technology and tradition made a tricky tango. The typical modern Nigerian parents, Akin and Folake Olatunji, were youthful, driven and constantly seeking the next great thing. They were both 28 years old and proud to belong to the Gen Z generation, having grown up with smartphones as extensions of their hand. Akin, with his perfectly trimmed beard and trendy glasses, worked as a remote software developer for a Silicon Valley startup. Folake, sporting braids that changed color weekly, was a social media manager for a Pan-African fashion brand. They were the envy of their friends, successful, stylish, and parents to two adorable children, 7-year-old Tade and 5-year-old Sade. The Olatunjis lived in a cozy 3-bedroom apartment in the heart of Lekki, an upscale neighborhood known for its blend of traditional African charm and modern amenities. Their home office, a converted guest room, was a testament to their digital lifestyle. Dual monitors, podcasting microphones, and ring lights scattered about like artifacts in a museum of millennialism. But beneath the polished surface of their Instagram perfect life lurked a growing problem. Akin and Folake were addicted to TikTok. What has started as a fun way to unwind after work has slowly metamorphosed into an all-consuming obsession. They spent hours perfecting dance routines, lip-syncing to trending sounds, and chasing the elusive viral video that would catapult them to TikTok stardom. At first, it was a harmless fun. They included Tade and Sade in their videos, creating cute family moments that their followers adored. But as their follower count grew, so did their ambition. Soon, the children were left out, deemed not professional enough for the high-quality content Akin and Folake wanted to produce. On a sunny Monday morning, as Akin drove the case to school, Folake was already planning their next TikTok video. "Akin, I've got it," she exclaimed, her eyes glued to her phone. "We'll do a day in a life of a remote worker series. It will be huge." Akin's eyes lit up, momentarily forgetting that he was on the wheel. "Brilliant, Folake. We will start as soon as we get back home." They dropped off Tade and Sade at Greenwood Elementary, barely noticing the children's goodbye waves as they speed off, minds already filled with visions of TikTok glory. Back at home, Akin and Folake transformed their living space into a set. They rearranged furniture, set up multiple camera angles, and even changed outfits several times to give the illusion of a multi-day shoot. Action, Akin called that, and they began their performance. They filmed themselves, waking up at 10 a.m., making smoothies, doing yoga, and then transitioning into their home office. They recorded time lapses of themselves working, typing furiously on keyboards, gesticulating at screens during fake Zoom calls, and scrambling on Notepad with intense concentration. Hours flew by unnoticed. The sun aced across the sky, but Akin and Folake were oblivious, lost in their digital world. They were so engrossed that they didn't hear their phones ringing, calls from Greenwood Elementary going straight to voicemail. At the school, Tade and Sade sat on a bench outside the administrative office, watching as their classmates were picked up one by one. The school day had ended 2 hours ago. "Where are Dad and Mom?" Sade asked, her small voice quivering. Tade, trying to be brave for his little sister, replied, "Don't worry, they are probably stuck in the traffic. You know how crazy Lagos road can get. But as the school guard began locking up the gate, even Tade couldn't hide his worry. Mrs. Adebayo, their kind-hearted teacher, approached them with concern etched on her face. "Tade, Shade, has there been no word from your parents?" she asked gently. Tade shook his head, fighting back tears. Mrs. Adebayo sighed and led them back into the school building. "Come on, let's try calling them again." Meanwhile, back at the Olatunji's residence, Akin and Folake were putting finishing touches on their video series. They had changed outfit for the 5th time, now pretending it was evening. "And that's a wrap on our productive day," Folake announced to the camera, flashing a dazzling smile. Akin stopped the recording, grinning from ear to ear. "This is going to blow up. I can feel it." As they huddled around Falake's phones, excitedly editing their masterpiece, a sudden realization hit Akin like a bolt of lightning. His smile vanished, replaced by a look of horror. "Folake," he whispered, his voice trembling. "What time is it?" Folake glanced at her phone, confusion turning to shock. "It's 6:30 p.m. "Oh no, the kids." In a panic, they scrambled for their car keys, nearly tripping over the equipment across the floor. They raced out of the apartment, hearts pounding with fear and guilt. The Lagos evening traffic was a nightmare. Every red light, an eternity. Akin's knuckle were white on the steering wheel, while Folake frantically called the school, her parents, friends, anyone who might know where Tade and Shade were. When they finally streaked into the school parking lot, the place was deserted. The gates were locked, the windows dark. Akin and Folake felt their world crumbling around them. "What have we done?" Folake sobbed. Her makeup already being ruined by her tears. Just then, Folake's phone rang. It was Mrs. Adebayo. With a shaking hand, Folake answered and put it on speaker. "Mr. and Mrs. Olatunji," Mrs. Adebayo's voice with a mix of relief and disappointment. "I have been trying to reach you for hours. Tade and Shade are with me at the police station. Now we couldn't contact you. We had to report them as temporarily abandoned." The words hit Akin and Folake like a physical blow. Abandoned. They had abandoned their children for a TikTok video. The drive to the police station was silent, heavy with shame and regret. When they arrived, they found Tade and Shade sitting on a bench, looking small and vulnerable. For a moment, everyone just stared at each other. Then Shade broke the silence. "Mommy! Daddy!" she cried, running into their arms. Daddy followed, trying to look tough, but unable to hide his relief. Akin and Folake hugged their children tight, apologies flowing like a river. "We are so sorry," they repeated over and over. Tade, wise beyond his years, looked up at them with eyes that seemed to hold all the wisdom of their ancestors. "It's okay, Mom and Dad, but can you please look at us instead of your phones now?" Those words cut deeper than any knife. Akin and Folake realized with crushing clarity that their obsession had nearly cost them the most precious things in their lives. The ride home was quiet, each lost in their own thoughts. As they entered their apartment, the chaos of their TikTok shoot stood in stark contrast to the serious mood. Akin began dismantling the ring light and camera setups. Folake stared at her phone, thumb hovering over the TikTok app. With a deep breath, she deleted it. "What are you doing?" Akin asked, surprised. "What we should have done long ago," Folake replied, her voice firm. "We need to reset our priorities." That night, as they tucked Tade and Shade into bed, Akin and Folake made a solemn promise to themselves and to their children that things would change. The next few weeks were challenging, like addicts going through withdrawal. Akin and Folake struggled with the urge to check TikTok to create just one more video, but they stood firm. They established new family rules. Phones were banned during the meals and family time. They set up a reward system for themselves. For every day they went without social media, they put money in a jar for a family vacation. Slowly but surely, they rediscovered the joy of unfiltered family moments. They had game nights where only the challenge was who could make the silliest face. They went to the park and flew kites, laughing as they tangled the strings. And every night, instead of scrolling through their phones, they told Tade and Sade bedtime stories, real African folk tales full of wisdom and wonder. One evening, as they sat on the balcony, watching the sunset, Folake turned to Akin. "You know, I don't miss it as much as I thought I would." Akin nodded, squeezing her hand. "Me neither. I think we found something better." As if on cue, Tade and Sade burst onto the balcony, giggling and chasing each other. Akin scooped up Sade, while Folake tickled Tade. Their laughter echoed across the neighborhood, a joyous soundtrack to their new life. Months passed. The Olatunjis found a healthy balance. They still used social media, but now it was a tool, not a master. They shared genuinely family moments, not carefully choreographed performances. Their follower count dropped, but their family bond grew stronger than ever. They realized that no amount of likes or views could compare the love and connection they felt with each other. 1 year after the fateful day they forgot their children, the Olatunjis sat together in their living room, looking through a family photo album. "Remember when we thought TikTok fame was the most important thing?" Akin mused, shaking his head at their past selves. Folake smiled, watching Tade and Sade play with their toys on the floor. "We were so foolish, but I'm glad we learned our lesson before it was too late." Tade looked up from his game. "I'm glad too. I like this version of you better." His words filled the room with warmth, a testament to the power of presence over pixels, of real connections over virtual ones. And so, in the end, Akin and Folake Olatunji learned a valuable lesson, that life's most precious moments can't be captured in 60-second video. The real magic happens when you put down the phone and truly see the people right in front of you. They discovered that being a cool parent isn't about having the most followers or the trendiest dance moves. It's about being present, being kind, and being there for your children, no matter what. Now, here is a question for you to ponder. What's more valuable, getting likes from strangers on the internet or creating lasting memories with people you love? Before you go, why not share your thoughts in the comments? Have you ever missed out on something important because you were distracted by tech? Or do you have a way to find balance with your physical world and your digital world? I would love to hear them. Remember, sometimes the most important update isn't on your phone, it's in the smiles of people around you. Take a moment to look up and appreciate them today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends. Thank you for watching.